I've been experimenting with using flexible 3D printed materials to make fingers for my 3D gripper. I started with the traditional Finray style finger, which seems to work as expected, but it's not very rigid and doesn't have much lateral strength. So for the sort of loads I'm considering, it's not really what I'm after. I scaled it down to a smaller finger, and that actually works pretty well. And I can see for certain types of pickups that could be quite nice. But again, it doesn't have a lot of lateral strength, so not ideal for what I'm after. I decided to try beefing it up. My first attempt failed because I had 4 or 5 shells and they just completely delaminated. And this design requires the layers to hold in order to keep its structural integrity. I may have not had the 3D print settings correct either, so maybe some more work there. I did increase the number of, decrease the shell layers and increase the infill, and then I ended up with quite a stiff finger, which works out pretty nicely. It doesn't have a lot of play, but does curl around the load a little bit. But the problem with this design is that when there's a force at the end of the finger, it tends to split the two fingers apart, which tends to drop the load. So it's not ideal for a heavy load near the end of the fingers. If it's up closer, then it does curl around. So again, maybe there is some application for something of that design. My current design I've settled on for a little while is these pretty much flat fingers but with a little pocket inside, which gives them just a little bit of curl and ability to mold around an object to a small extent while still keeping any load that's at the tip of the fingers being pushed upwards rather than downwards by the splaying of the fingers.